Hey guys, welcome to a new tutorial. We'll be making the top part, the slash and spread part of this Hilda Bass's dress. So let's get into it. So the first thing you're going to be doing in this tutorial is to draft out your basic bodies. Now, if you look at the picture, you'll see that the sleeve is joined to the yoke of the dress, to the shoulder. It's not separate. You will not see a armhole that is cut separately when you look at the picture. So the first thing you need to do when you get a new style is to first of all understand the style, know the style first before you start drafting it. Do you understand? So you first of all mark your shoulder measurement. The neck, I widened the neck by 4 inch. The shoulder, I widened it by 4 inch too. Then I just created a dot. That's my armhole, right? 8 inches. I just marked a straight line as 8 inches. So this dress doesn't have an armhole curve. Okay. So the next thing now I'm going to do is to mark my neck. So for the neck I came down by 1 inch and then I'll just create a curve. Okay. So these are the steps you will take. First of all, start drafting your normal basic bodies. Now if you want yours to be a gown, just draft out your whole gown. But this tutorial, I'm making mine a top, just a top, because I just want to show us how the slash and spread effect on the top part was achieved. Okay, the sleeves are bell sleeves, and there's already a tutorial on how to make a bell sleeve on my video on my channel. So guys, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe, like, share. So now it's time for me to place my measurements. I've marked from my shoulder to my chest line, shoulder to bust point, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to half length, then the full length of the blouse. Okay, so if you're making a gown, shoulder to half length, then you mark your hip, waist to hip measurement, then the full length of your gown. Do you understand? So but I'm making a blouse, a top. So I just marked out my vertical measurements and I'm going to name them so that I'll know my chest line, my bust line, under bust, and half length. Now I want us to pay more attention to the upper part of this outfit. Now, earlier I told you that the sleeves are joined to the shoulder. The dress doesn't have an armhole curve. Now, from that your shoulder line, you mark the length of your sleeves. Okay. Now, I'm using the length of my paper, which is 11. When you mark the length of your sleeve, at the tip, you mark your round sleeve. Can you see? You mark your round sleeve and then you connect it to your chest line. Now, most times, some people don't take their chest line measurement. I don't know why, but if you take your chest line measurement, that is going to help you to know where your yoke is. On most of my videos, especially how to take body measurements, I always say take your chest measurement from your shoulder to your chest line, or from your shoulder to your under bust. Over bust. You either call it chest line or over bust. Okay, for people that don't want the yoke of their dress to expose their cleavage. All right. So most times the chest line that I take, I use it as a guideline, especially when I want to make a dress like this that has a yoke. Hope you understand. So I've drafted the other parts of my dress. I've imputed the measurements. Okay. So now this is how I'm going to cut it out. Now you ask me, why am I cutting out the yoke? Because as I said earlier, the slash and spread effect is on the yoke part of this dress, on the yoke part, the up part. And my yoke part, I cut my yoke part from my chest line, which is my over bust. That's where my yoke is. Hope you understand now. So now I'm just going to cut out our measurements like so. And then when I'm done cutting it, I hope you understand this part. So when you cut out your own, this is how yours will be. The sleeve is not going to be separate. Can you see? This is how yours is supposed to be. The sleeves are joined to the shoulder. You understand? There's no armhole curve in your dress. Please hope you understand. If you don't understand, please you can post ask your question under the comment section. Now I'm going to use this pattern to cut both the back. The difference between the front and the back is the zip allowance. Hope we know. And I'm going to slash and spread the back too. Okay, so this is the sleeve length. I've labeled my pattern. Now the next thing to do is to cut it. Now the first thing I'm going to do is to mark straight lines that are going to be 1 inch apart from each other. Now from the center front, please pay attention. From the center front, I'm going to be marking 1 inch, 1 inch. I'm just going to mark 1 inch. Then after the shoulder line, I'm going to just mark 1 more inch after the shoulder line. That's into the sleeve length. This is optional though. Do you get into the sleeve length? Now I'm going to draw a straight line with my ruler. This is the first step to getting your slash and spread. Okay, slash and spread. It means cut open and spread. That's just it. Do you get? So you draw your straight line. Now this 1 inch apart is just personal. You can do yours 1.5 inch apart. You can do yours 1/2 inch apart. It depends on your preference, how big you want your folding to be. Do you get? How big you want the slash and spread effect to be. Do you get? So now I've slashed it. It's time for us to slash the lines. Now when you're cutting it, please don't cut open the upper part. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm cutting it from the bottom, from the yoke, and I'm not opening it up at the top part. Can you see? So this is how you are going to do it. So when you cut it open like so, the next thing you're now going to do is to spread it. I'm marking that particular place as that our armhole line, that our shoulder line. I'm marking it because the next other slash line is the line where our sleeve will continue. So I've spread it. You see, I didn't even have enough fabric to spread it because I'm trying to mince the fabric for the back part too. So when you spread it like so, you create 1/2 inch cutting joining allowance at the yoke part, and then you just cut. You see the bottom part, I created 1/2 inch allowance. That's the joining allowance for joining the yoke to the main top. Okay, then the upper part, you just cut it directly. Can you see? So I hope you understand up to this point. And if you don't understand, as usual, just send your question in the comment section. I'll try my best to explain further. But just follow the processes on this video and you're good to go. Okay, so this is the front part. Now, very important, notch that armhole line. That's your shoulder line. Notch it. Notch it on the top and notch it on the bottom. Do you get? I'll let you know why you need to notch it. So when you notch it, we're done with cutting the front part. We're going to use the front pattern to cut the back pattern. The only difference between both of them is the zipper allowance. So I just marked 1 inch zipper allowance, and then I'm just going to cut on the pattern. Do you get? I'm just going to trace it out, the same thing. Like I earlier told you, the front and the back, they are the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to cut it open. So guys, please, if you've not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click on the subscription button and subscribe. I upload videos every day. Yes, because I love you guys. I upload video every day. So when you cut out, you're going to have 2 pieces for the front and 2 pieces for the back. Remember, the back, the difference between the front and the back is just the zipper allowance area. Okay, now you do this if you also want to do slash and spread for the back part of your dress. If you don't want to do slash and spread, that means you need to first of all cut the back part before you slash and spread your pattern for the front part. Hope this is understandable. So now we're done. Now for the front part, I dipped it by 1 inch, the front and the back. So now I'm going to dip it further. So the front neckline, I'm going to dip it 3 inches and then just open it up. Do you get? So the front is 4 inch wide, 3 inch deep. The back is 4 inch wide, 3 inches. Sorry, the back is 4 inches wide, 1 inch deep. The back is higher than the front. So can you see? So the next thing now we're going to do, we've gotten the yoke part of our top. Can you see that I notched the up and the down part of that line I told you that is our armhole line? not our armhole line, the shoulder line, and that straight line. You're going to notch it, the up and back down part. When you're done, now it's time for us to cut our material. I've cut my material with my pattern paper. I've notched my center front. I've notched my zipper allowance. Now I'm still going to notch that line, that shoulder line that came down. I'm going to notch it. I'm going to show you the importance of notching all these lines. It's going to make your work easier. It's going to make it less stressful for you. Okay, so when I notched it, we're going to first of all work on the front before we work on the back piece. Okay, so now you get your front part. Can you see I notched the center front, and then I'm going to open it up. Then I'll get my yoke, the yoke of the front. Remember, I notched the center front of the yoke, and I notched that shoulder line that came down. Okay, so now you pin your yoke onto your dress, onto the remaining part of your dress. Okay, so when you open it up like so, you pin the center front of the yoke to the center front of the bottom of your dress. Can you see what I'm doing? Then you pin those shoulder lines that I told you to notch, right? You pin it. This is going to help you. It's going to serve as a guide as you're pleating your dress now, because we want to form that pleating effect. Okay, so this notch is going to show you that after this place, the next part you are entering is the sleeve. Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So that's the reason for the notching. You notching that shoulder line. You're notching it so that it is a guide that after this particular notch now, the next part is your sleeve line. Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm going to be pleating my top. Can you see the reason for the slash and spread, so that you'll be able to pleat it and give it that effect? If you have more fabrics, the more your fabrics are, the more pleats that will come out in your dress. That's just the truth. Okay, so I'm done joining it. I joined it by that half an inch. You know, I left half an inch when I was cutting out the yoke. Okay, so I joined it with half an inch. Now if you're not so, I think you should, when you've pinned it, you should just join it first before removing your pin. Okay, so you won't scatter your work. That's if you're not a pro, but if you're a pro, that's good and fine. Okay, so I'm done. Can you see? So the next thing we're going to do now is to bias the neck. Can you see the what are we going to call it now? The pleats on the top part. You know, my material is a flowery material. It's going to be a little bit hard for you to see, but just look carefully. Can you see the pleats on the top? I managed the material, and can you see how it's looking? Imagine if you have lots of material. So if you want to work on this kind of dress, you need like 3 yards. I need to slash and spread your yoke very well. So so I biased the neck. Now it's time to work on the back. So the same thing we did for the front, we do it for the back. I also notched that shoulder line, the beginning of our shoulder line, for the bottom part and for the yoke. So it's very simple. Just place your notches together, your zipper allowance notch and that shoulder line notch. Do you see the importance of notching it? But if you don't notch it, you're going to be confused. Do you get? You're going to be confused. So this is the importance of notching all these areas. So when you notch, then you pin. Please, pinning is very important. If someone tells you that you're pinning a dress, you're not a good designer. Don't pay heed to that person, okay? Pin your outfit the way you want it. Look at it. If it's giving you what you want, then you sew on your machine, okay? So when you're done, I've pinned the front and the back. I've pinned the back, can you see? And I've sewn it. Can you see? Now I want you to see something. Can you see the yoke lines? They align. So whenever you're making yours, your yoke lines must align. If it doesn't align, please lose it. It must align. It shows that you know what you're doing and your work is neat. So I've biased the neck of the back. Now the next thing to do is just to join our dress. Yes, we're done with the front, we're done with the back. I've folded the sleeve. Okay, so the next thing to do is just to join your front and back from the neck down to the sleeve line. Okay, so when you're done, then you shape it by the sides. and your dress is ready. Can you see how lovely it is? Can you see the effect? So you can make this for your gown or for a top too if you want. You can even alter your sleeves. You can do any design, the same design of sleeve that you had on the paper, on the material that we're working with. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this tutorial was very helpful to you, and if it is, I want you to please click the subscription button, like, subscribe, and share the videos. And if you have any question, let me know in the comment section. You can do this, you can make any design you want, just follow the steps and you will get it. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. See you on my next tutorial. Bye.